Thank you, Kim and Peter, for coming in tonight. And we're going to talk about your experience in the sale of your home. The first thing I would like to ask you is, why do you choose Century 21?
I think, Jason, there's a number of reasons for that. First of all, I think from my experience in the Hills area, you're the only real estate agent that actually has your name as part of Century 21. And being you've been around for 25 years, it shows, or plus 25 years, it just shows the experience that you have. So most of the other real estate agents have staff that come in, may work there for a couple of years and move on. You're the only one that I know that's connected to the real estate, to Century 21, and has been here for so long. So that was one of the first things. And so the experience to us is really important. There's a number of reasons for that. First of all, understanding the demographic of who's buying the different homes in the area, valuations, what are the sorts of things that people are looking for, and so it's understanding those nuances which we think is important for us. I think the second reason we chose you was that when I met you, you were very empathetic to what we wanted. You listened, you understood why we were selling the house, the drivers for it, and so trying to make sure that the market that you were targeting matched with the house. And then the third point was really understanding our current situation, because we had a bit of a different situation selling the house, and so you're very sensitive to that, the timing of it, etc. So they were the qualities I was looking for, plus also just the way you address the issues, looking at the house, all those sorts of things are very important points that I thought differentiated you from the rest of the market.
And what about yourself, Kim?
Well, I had a much simpler reason for picking you.
Yes.
We've known you for a very long time, since our kids started school, and my eldest is now 30.
Wow.
So that's a long time to know you, and you've been in the area as
The longest we can remember.
For as long as we can remember.
Yeah.
And every time the thought of selling or buying comes up, we think of you first.
At different marketing options, whether you can go by auction process, or you can have private treaty with a price, no price, or in our case, we use express sale method. What made you choose the express sale method?
So Joseph, I think when we discussed this, we both knew that the house we were selling was quite unique.
Yes.
And so it didn't fit the traditional profile in the market for the area that the house was in. So I think we both agreed that the best way would be to test the market first, which is obviously to go there without a price,
yes,
and really let the market tell us what the value of the property was. Which then, getting that feedback, you and I are able then to negotiate what we thought was a reasonable sales price, which was in tune with what the market would bear at that time. That's right. I think the other thing also, because of the market and the way it was at the time, auction was not a good way to go. It was quite obvious the way the prices were moving and how long the properties were on the market for, and that's why we decided to go down that path.
Yes. Taking into consideration the market was a slow market.
That's right.
So I think we did the right thing.
That's right. Yep.
Talk about the process of what we did prior to launching.
Sure. Well, there was a couple of things, and certainly with your help, Joseph. I remember when you came round, we walked around the house, and you're looking at the various furniture pieces that were there. We wanted to declutter the house, and I remember you recommending that this should go, that should go, and you were quite comfortable for it to go in the garage, which made it easy for us, so we can move things around. And then we both agreed that we need to get the relevant staging in place for the property as well, which was really important, so we could show the best attributes of the home. And so we engaged our daughter.
Yes, who's an interior designer with got a lot of experience in this area. She's worked for the block and a number of other areas. So we had her do the work, Elise Hawes, and she did a great job.
Fantastic.
Very efficient,
Yes.
very cost effective, and I think it had a big impact.
And Kim, I would like to get your views regarding the communication feedback that we were doing for this home.
Sure. So I remember again when we spoke about that, and one of the things you promised would be an open communications process. So it was interesting because I found that the communication was fantastic. So you and Jane were always texting. You gave us updates on a regular basis, both from the open homes, but also any visits that might have been after hours, particular buyers. We had the online portal, which gave us a count of how many hits online for the house, etc. as well. So the communication was always open. I never had to approach you to find out what was happening. It was always proactive from your side, which was really appreciated. So just a couple of other points I think really important. First of all, that again, when you and I just, we talked about the house, one of the key things was how long we thought it'd be on the market for, and it was amazing. I always thought about 4 months, and I remember Kim and I talking about that. The reality was the house sold in 2 weeks, which was an outstanding result. 3 open houses, one Saturday, middle Saturday, and the last Saturday. And we're able to get that. So, I mean, that just blew us away and made it much easier to be able to move forward with what we needed to do on the other side in selling the property. I think also the exchange time with the contracts.
Oh yeah, that was terrific. When you told us that you had someone and we needed to sign paperwork, I was out that night and you were prepared to come out at 10 o'clock when I got home.
That's right, I did.
To get those papers signed. So I really appreciated that, and that was, over the top service.
Yeah. First of all, I always felt enormous trust in leaving the sale to yourself. The frequency of communication was another key point. I think also that I felt as though that you knew what you were doing. So they were the key things that came to mind for myself.
From my perspective, considering that wasn't 10 words,
Yes.
I only need 2 words. It's super easy.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate our relationship through this transaction, and we will remain friends forever.
Certainly.
And I'm sure we'll cross paths when we want to sell again.
Yes, and I really must shake your hands.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you so much for the business.
That's all right. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you
Joseph.
so much.